It was time for the library to close. I had to leave. I bought some food on my way home. I shut my door and locked it right away. Then I heard the door of the neighboring apartment open. 'Cause I live next door. Nobody else lives on this floor of the nearby empty apartment building anyway. I clearly heard the door open and close. Guess I must have noticed that I came home and was coming over because he wanted to talk to me about speak normal. I cleared the door and shouted after him. Is that you, Kasai? I'll leave the door unlocked for you. Wait. Who's this? That voice. I twitched. I don't know who's speaking! My Kasai-san, Shion, and the voice. I twitched. Maybe. Can I go in? Sure, sis. Yeah, I had a feeling it was Mion. The door slowly opens. My alter ego, Mion Sonozaki, appeared. She was holding a box of cake. A box of cake. Is this me or is that a weird way of wording that? I mean, I can, because it could, have the cake in the box. But a box of cake just sounds odd, doesn't it? Maybe it's just me. While smiling timidly. Are you going to keep standing there until I escort you? Come in. Sorry, this room doesn't look very cute. It looks comfortable. Sis looked a bit tense when entering my room. It was her first time here. How's life? I knew school is as boring as I thought it would be. I usually go, but I skip classes when I don't feel up to it. I couldn't do that when I was going to St. Lucia's. So, St. Lucia's was really tough, huh? Huh, you should go there sometime. Sorry. I bought cake. Let's eat. Mion opened the box. I saw 2 cheesecakes there. We have the same taste in food, so we don't have to fight if we get 2 of the same thing. I chatted with her over the cheesecake. I talked to her about school and whatnot. If you need furniture, tell me. I might be able to get some for you. I finally got used to this room, but I might move out soon, so the furniture won't be necessary. Thanks, though. Dad wants me to come back home. I don't want to live with him, but he sounds desperate. He'd be pleased if you came home. He looked lonely while you were gone. You can only say that because you don't have to live with him. Come to think of it, this was the first time I talked to Sis since I was allowed to live as Shion Sonozaki. She didn't look like how she was at the Sonozaki house that day. The successor of the Sonozaki family and my twin sister are 2 different people. The demon lives inside the leader of the Sonozakis. Our bodies are exactly the same, except for the tattoo of a demon on her back. Has she legitimately got the tattoo? Mion's destiny as a successor was set in stone when she got that tattoo. I'm sure if this was like a traditional visual novel, we'd probably get a CG for that at some point in the series, I'd imagine. Maybe, I don't know. It's pretty simple. The Mion from that night was different from the Mion before me. When I was forced to tear off my fingernails, I'd momentarily despised her. But if I were the next leader of the family, I'd have done the same. Shion, how are your fingernails? The wounds have closed. I don't bandage them anymore because it looks too conspicuous. But my nails still look ugly, so I don't really like showing them to people. I sneered at her, displaying my incomplete fingernails. Mion grew quiet and looked down. You don't have to apologize. You did what you had to do. You just played the role of successor. I'm not holding any grudges. Sorry. Okay, apology accepted. But if you apologize one more time, that'll be cancelled. I won't forgive you for the rest of my life. Huh? What do you mean? Once you start apologizing, you never stop. So I'm cutting you off. Will you really forgive me? About Satoshi-kun as well? My heart ached when she mentioned his name. It felt like the ache of an old wound. I figured you loved him. No wonder I shouted out loud in front of all of you. I'm not embarrassed anymore. Ha 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 ha. Granny Trill believes you're of tones. She thinks you've done all you needed to do. So the matter is finished. That's good. My pain won't go to waste then. I wonder where Satoshi-kun disappeared to, though. I studied Shion when I heard her say that. I just said it to her myself. I said that I'd forgiven her completely. But that promise instantly evaporated. Just because of what she said, I felt like I turned into a completely different person. Like you saw everything in a negative effect. What did you just say, Mion? Did you say, I wonder where Satoshi-kun disappeared to? Who else could know well than you and your folks? What did you say? Where did he go? I felt my eyeballs reddening in anger. It felt as though they were about to pop. I choked on a burning sensation in my throat. Do you need some Gaviscon? Mion's expression rapidly changed. It looked like she noticed the devil's mask on my face. We were one and the same. We could understand each other's thoughts without voicing them. So showing our expressions was like unveiling everything in our hearts to the other. Sorry. Even though I told her not to apologize anymore, Mion apologized. Well, apology cancels! I felt like strangling her. I was going to make her confess when where she'd hid Satoshi-kun. If she told me she threw him into the Onagafuchi swamp, I'd strangle her to death right then and there! I really don't know what happened to Satoshi-kun. That's a lie! Asada! Wait. Actually, maybe it's not Usada. It's like, goddamn, how many times do I do this? Log. Okay, it is actually Usada! Ah, yeah. That's a lie would be Usada, and liar would be like Isotsuki or something like that. English, please. It's true, Granny doesn't know anything either. Please believe me. That's a lie. Are you saying that, or are you sure Sama's curse demoned them away? There can't be a curse. There can't be. Words kept coming out of my mouth like I was chanting a spell. I wasn't speaking by my own will anymore. It was the demon who was controlling me. The demon that had been sleeping deep inside me woke up and was speaking through my mouth. I thought the demon was supposed to be Mion on that. She's got the tattoo! The demon's hands grabbed Mion by the neck. Oh, shit! You guys demon Satoshi-kun away! You and the Sonozaki family! Give him back to me! Give him back! My hands slowly but surely squeezed Mion's neck. Mion put her hands onto mine. I looked at her fingers. 3 of the fingernails on her left hand looked as ugly as mine. Oh. Mion, what's this? Tears rolled down her cheeks. She didn't have to answer. She had the same scars as I did. She atoned as well. The way these wounds were healing looked like same as mine. So, did she get these wounds around the same time as I did? It was unfair that only you had to go through that. I felt so bad. Mion started sobbing. I stood there petrified, still wringing Mion's neck. Once I found out you loved Satoshi-kun, I really wanted to be happy. Because it's always only you who has to suffer, even though we're twins. It didn't come as a surprise to me that Mion might also have loved Satoshi-kun as I did. We're always like the same stuff and even the same people. She was stupid enough to feel obligated towards someone like me. I told Granny to leave you and Satoshi-kun alone. I shouted at her. Then she said she'd let you be if you atoned with sincerity. And you did. So you were supposed to live happily with him. But Satoshi-kun has gone away. That's terrible. That's... Mion isn't smart enough to shed crocodile tears. Those tears were real. Her tears dissolved my demon's anger like how the sun melts ice. Believe me, Shion, I really don't know why Satoshi-kun disappeared. Well, Granny nor the Sonozaki family have anything to do with it. Granny forgave you, so she would never do anything to him. Mion, so sorry. Did I hurt you? I took my hands off her neck and held her instead. I'm not hurt. You've been hurt a lot more than me, haven't you? Hick. Hick. I shouted at the demon in my mind. I believed in Mion. I had been convinced that it was the Sonozaki family that made Satoshi-kun disappear. But Mion denied it, while shedding tears. Between her and me, her eyes are more convincing than my words, well, any words. So I'd believe in her. It absolutely wasn't the Sonozaki family that made him disappear. So, do you really think that Satoshi-kun disappeared because of Higurashi-sama's curse? I don't believe in curses! And Mion didn't do it! If it wasn't the curse for the Sonozaki family who demoned him away. I don't know! I like how the demon thing here that's just got going there, kind of like written in a... Wait. I forget what it is. Now, what is that effect called where it kind of leans to the side? I forget what it's called. But it looks like they've done that for that. Kind of looks like it's kind of to the side a bit. Just like to differentiate the two. Even though it's pretty obvious. I don't know. I just know it's not Mion. It's not the Sonozaki family because Mion says so. That's stupid, Shion. What are you going to ignore Satoshi-kun's voice? I know! You don't have to remind me, demon. I can hear his voice. I know he's mumbling with an ambivalent expression like he always used to do, even though he knows help won't come. I'll help him no matter what. I'll save him if he's alive. I'll avenge him if he's dead. But Mion didn't do it. He just wants to take it out on somebody, it doesn't matter who. But I'm Shion, not a demon. You're only a part of me. Don't try to take control, you bitch! Fuck off! Don't even show up again! Okay, I gotta know. It's definitely not fuck off, because I don't think there's a Japanese equivalent to saying that. At least that I know, anyway. I don't even know why I bothered to try the check. Like, I'm gonna be able to freaking figure out where it is on this. Hey, there's the demon right there. Wait. Demon is Oni, right? But it's got meh at the end there. Oni meh? Oni meh? I don't know. That's kind of confusing. Because it's definitely... last I checked, I don't think this is one of those particles I mentioned. Now, how many times have I done that in this part right here? Switch languages, seriously. The demon faded away. My body went limp and I fell to the floor while holding Mion. Shion, are you alright? I'm alright now, Mion. Why are we two different individuals? Why can't we just be one? Stop it, we've asked ourselves that so many times. There's no answer. I'm Shion and you're Mion. That's just how it is. I don't care for Mion or Shion. I just want to be one and equal with you. There's nothing we can do. You have the demon on your back. You're destined to become the successor. We can't change that. I don't want that. I don't need a demon. I don't want it. I'm not a demon. I want to be a human like you. Mion is a demon and Shion is a human. Even though we're twins, there's a difference between us. Was it impossible for humans to live with demons after all? It should be possible, because they did it before. That's the legend of Inimizawa. Humans and demons lived in harmony together, as Higurashi-sama watched over them. Mion, Shion, Satoshi-kun, demons, humans. Now you're just listing words, more or less here. So again, for how many times have I done this now in this one recording? Okay, Mion, you got the demon in your name, as we established. Shion, Satoshi-kun, Oni, Toka, and then you got the, It was humans, right? Ah, man. Man, I'm trying to think here. Humans. There's different ways of saying humans in Japanese. Let me check my dictionary. Humans. Humans. I suppose that'd be it then. Maybe? Could it? Nin Toka? Because, like, humans is Ningen, technically. Wait, no. Well, maybe that is, actually. Maybe it's Ningen Toka. I don't know why To's added on, no. Or Ka, for that matter. I don't know. Whatever the case, let's continue on with the plot. Humans! We assure someone's cursed, a series of mysterious deaths. Satoshi-kun's disappearance. We fell asleep while holding each other, while holding everything. What, you just fell asleep? Higurashi when they cry. More tips in the form of notes. That skipped many pages. Shion unlocked payment. Here is a hand. Yeah, might as well go with the tips. Wait a moment. They're not entirely the same notebook. They're different colors. I saw Mion a few times after that. It'd be funny if that was the whole tip, wouldn't it? It's like, oh, she saw her a few more times. That's it. That's the tip. At her core, she was fascinated with the bizarre, and she had an insatiable curiosity that was just as strong. I have to remind myself not to take her story too seriously. Otherwise, I might start believing that Satoshi-kun disappeared because of the ghosts. She talks about the dark history of Hinamizawa a lot. It's all very interesting. Her fears are based on nothing but conjecture, but some of her intuition covers facts that only members of the Sonozaki family would know. She thinks that Oishiro-sama's curse is the continuation of these ancient rituals. In other words, she believes that the curse is performed by religious fanatics. According to her theory, a religious cult once existed in Hinamizawa, and the three families stemmed from it. She believes that they are operating behind the scenes in order to revive the dignity of the Onigafuji people, which was lost during the Meiji era. Miyo-san's theories are far-reaching, and looking at them on a larger scale, they end up making a lot of sense. But they can't offer any explanation for Satoshi-kun's disappearance when using them on a smaller one. The theories are just too broad. Page 64. I exchange information with Oishi every now and then. We'd each expect new leads from each other, but others hadn't luck. I suppose it makes sense why it's gone over these tips now. I think it's like, when we return to the main plot, I think that's when the time skip will go into the 1983, where, you know, the main plot would usually take place, but we went a year into the past. Well, technically it's all in the past, if you look at it that way, isn't it? 1983, that was a long time ago. I wasn't even alive back then. I wasn't even born. But, like, you know, just early 80s we're dealing with here. In a kind of rural village in the middle of nowhere. And whatever. Point being, it all takes place in 1983, but we're in the past to establish things. Whatever. I no longer believe the tip that Satoshi-kun might have headed to Tokyo. It was clearly bogus anyway. Although I can't befriend Oishi, he's been fair about the deal. He alone has been serious about uncovering any new information. Oishi's sources are quite reliable, so whenever I found some dubious tip, I'd check it with him to see if it was valid. My meetings with him have diminished in frequency since he's been assigned to new cases. Eventually, we stopped meeting entirely. We stopped investigating, and I reached the limits of my sources of information. People now think that Satoshi-kun's disappearance was a supernatural phenomenon called demoning away, or anigafuchi. In Hinmizawa, they refer to his disappearance as him having transferred, and nobody will talk about it otherwise. There's that word again, isn't it? Haven't heard that in a while. I don't like the way that phrase is used to erase him. Oh, that makes sense, doesn't it? Remember that one time where Shion got a bit pissy at Keiichi when he referenced Satoshi as all I knew or something like that. He just then he transfer out or something. He's like, don't use that word. I don't like that phrasing, you son of a bitch. Of course, that was in a different arc. I can't even remember which. It might have even been Watanagashi. But 85. During the upheaval surrounding Oshiro Summer's Curse in 1982, I was pulled this way, and that by new leads on Satoshi-kun's disappearance. Every time I found information that looked promising, I kept changing my theories. But that also became an incredibly burden on me. It wore me down plenty on its own. The fatigue was harsh, but it also provided very kind acceptance. Bit by bit, it soothed away the anger, sadness, and doubt that wore me down. I'll never forget Satoshi-kun. I'll never try to forget him and move on. I constantly repeat those to myself in my head. I repeat them to keep my memories of Satoshi-kun from fading too, over and over. For the sake of my fond memories of Satoshi-kun, together with my fear and my sadness, I repeat them forever and ever. You didn't even know him that long, really, when you really think about it. You barely even interacted with the guy, because half the time, you couldn't interact with him. But you fell head over heels in love in AD 1983, where the main plot has always taken place. The fourth year of the series' mysterious deaths and are also known as Oshiro Summer's 1 year after Satoshi Hojo's disappearance. I hadn't been able to get used to my new school in Okinawa, but I had some friends there now, and so I got a part-time job at my relative's store. I had some extra pocket money too. I ended up living with my parents after all, so I didn't have to pay for living expenses. It felt great to get freely spend the money I earned from working. So do they live in Okinawa as well then? I still use the room casa I set up for me from time to time. It was a convenient hideout for when I didn't want to see my parents. In fact, I was planning to spend a day there today. Who's speaking? Okay. Damn that teacher. She told my parents that I was skipping classes. Well, she has admitted she skips classes. My dad got upset, and that was why I didn't want to stay at home. I had been asking for it, though. And I wanted to just say, damn that teacher. All I can think is back to Clannad, with that scene that I see so many times when I'd LP'd it. Damn that rugby player! My teacher should know that my dad is a yakuza, and that he gets really scary when he's mad. On the whole, my life had been going well so far, except that it was boring. The reason I can enjoy this lifestyle is probably because I had to live in secret before. It was a great relief to be able to live without having to fake my identity. Well, that might have been a valuable experience. I think I learned from it. I was going grocery shopping and thought I'd get enough food for a week or so. My parents would appreciate my presence more after missing me for a week. I was doing this for their sakes. Sure you are. Oh, wait, isn't there a 100 yen sale today? Yeah, there is. I knew how to save my pocket money. I was in a good mood. I spun around with my arms spread out. I felt like I was inside a little whirlwind, and then you hit something. My arm hit a motorcycle. Oh, deja vu, right? My arm hit a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. It obviously wasn't where it was supposed to be. Ow! What the? Who parked this motorcycle here? I gave the motorcycle a kick with no hesitation, learning absolutely nothing from the previous year. How will this play out for Shion? Find out next time. So I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.